What's up everybody and welcome to a brand new episode of the Game of the Week show. I am your host Matt Southwell and joining me this week is, as always, Dan Gilbert and Ashley Dye.
Gents.
It's a pretty full beard is starting to get on there. Scraping the barrels for the small talk now.
I know.
As we are 41 episodes in.
I was getting envious of Dan, so.
Yeah.
Nothing to be envious of.
I've got a way to go. So, on the beard of the week, we... no, anyone that's not familiar with Game of the Week show, this is three friends that get together every Monday to talk about the latest news stories in the video game industry. We also then go through the game releases for that week before picking our Game of the Week. So, we'll get straight into the news. I know we're all keen to go and enjoy our Easter weekend, 4-day weekends. Sucking Americans for only getting 3 days. Number one though, which maybe applaud Americans a little bit here. So Halo 5, we've got a release date at long last, October 27th. Not that long to go now. Only 6 months for you to buy that Xbox, Dan.
Knew that was coming.
We're waiting a minute.
We did. I said when I saw the news, I knew that was going to come.
I had no idea what you were talking about. So no, the way they announced this I thought was really cool. There was 2 trailers last Sunday, which we could argue it should have been in the episode last week, but it wasn't because we don't film on the day of release. Shock horror.
Break the illusion.
But anyway, just over a week ago, the Walking Dead finale aired in America, and there were 2 trailers that aired during this. One from the side of Master Chief, and one from the side of Agent Locke. So I think it's very clear that this kind of alliance / confrontation is going to be a focal point of this game.
It is.
One, are you excited for the game? Well, no, not are you. How excited are you for the game?
Very.
And 2, what do you make of the trailers?
I think the trailers are good because they give you that sort of anticipation of you're not really sure where they're going with it, but it just keeps you on the edge of your seat. Definitely excited for the game. As I've said, numerous times, playing through the Master Chief collection at the moment. It's a bit of a grind. I'm sort of getting through it in between other games, but when I'm on it, I'm really loving it. So
it's probably just so many games to go through, isn't there?
There is. It's sort of balancing it with everything else.
I know. I'm the same. I got it. When did it come out? Last November.
Yeah.
I think I'm still on Combat Evolved. Just because I just don't have time.
Yeah, I am as well. I am. I got it for Christmas, and so 4 months down the line, I'm still on Combat Evolved.
We have to speed up our game rate.
I know. It's going to be hopefully a quiet
summer.
Yeah,
so
it will be. So
no excuses. And talking of no excuses, Dan, is this the date then that you? I mean, what did you think of the trailers? Like as a game on its own, and is this the time where you've always said Halo that they're stacking up now? Number 5, well, number 6 really, if you count Reach. Well, number 7 if you count ODST. But the 5th main game, what did you think of it?
I like the trailers, and I like the way that they've put that situation to the players and so on who are going to play the game. But you don't know, is that the end? Is that like the start? It's like you don't actually know what's happening.
It might not even be in the game.
Well, yeah, but that's my point.
Yeah,
it's like it's got no context around it, but it's that intriguing that you're like, what?
I know. So like we see in the in Locke's trailer, we see Master Chief kind of slumped down, sat down, kind of on like a statue of Master Chief. Yeah. It's all kind of ruins all around, and it ends with Locke pointing his pistol at him. Do we think Master Chief dies in this game?
No.
I'm glad we all agree. There's no way. Imagine the outcry if they killed Master Chief, because Halo is Master Chief.
What you might end up having is because Locke's a playable character, isn't he? In this one, so you might have 2 dividing storylines, but then they only actually take one as canon into the 6th game, which you often see with games where it's like the good bad playthrough. They actually only make one of them canon, and just discard everything that could have happened in the previous one.
I think my opinion is obviously this is called Halo 5 Guardians, so I think that they obviously don't like each other, but maybe they are the 2 Guardians. They have to kind of, even though they have their differences, they have to maybe join up and become the Guardians of in a universe in order to
Basically,
fight a
damn
great...
it, I hate you, but I respect you kind of cliche.
Yeah, fight the greater evil. I don't know.
Yeah, put aside the differences.
But either way, I'm excited. October 27th. Mark it in your diaries. But we'll jump back into games that we can actually play now. And not only can we play them now, but they are free. PlayStation Plus games for April. We did Games with Gold, obviously, last week. But now we can talk about the games that Dan is interested in, because he can play them. We'll start off on the PS4. As always, there's going to be 2 games for every console. PS4, we've got Never Alone, which is a puzzle platformer. We spoke about this a while ago. I can't remember exactly when.
Yeah,
but I remember Ash being racist because you have to be an Inuit and her Arctic fox, and the two of them team up. I'm sure you made some racist joke about those people. I think that's the words you used, or something like that. I can't remember.
Maybe.
No.
Doesn't sound like kind of
Doesn't sound like you.
No.
Yeah, I know it's very out of character for you to
very
discriminate people. And then also, racism aside, we've also got Tower of Guns, which is a roguelike first-person shooter with randomised levels, randomised enemies. Basically, what I can get from the trailer is there's no BS in this game. It's just you shooting. You're good. They're evil. Get on with it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff flying around.
No storyline. You just got to get up like 7 levels,
shooting.
shoot everything that isn't you.
If you want a good run and gun game, it doesn't. I don't think get much better than this by the looks of it. There is a lot of stuff flying around. There's a lot of stuff to dodge and avoid.
Looking at the art style, it kind of gave off a little bit of a Borderlands vibe to me. I don't know if either of you.
Yeah, look, it kind of like the more.
Obviously not.
No, like
Well,
kind of
close.
a little bit more kind of
Arty.
the cartoon art style,
yeah.
a little bit. I think that might be more of just like the fact that there's a lot of vibrant colours in the game necessarily, but I don't know. Does this game appeal to you guys?
It appeals to me certainly more than Never Alone. I mean, Never Alone just isn't my kind of game at all. It looks a bit. I don't know. It's just I'm not a big puzzle gamer fan, but Tower of Guns looks really good.
Yeah,
really
I
good
think
stuff.
it could be something that's like a pick up and play thing, but might then drag into a really long
So maybe
like
something
gaming
like
session.
it
When
just-
you're only meant for like 10-15 minutes kind of thing.
it looks similar. It reminds me in one respect of kind of like Loadout. That game it just
Yeah.
looks like fun.
Yeah.
Like kind of not to be taken seriously, just good
Yeah.
solid shooting. And you might not be a fan of it, but I'm excited for Never Alone. I've toyed the idea of buying it a few times, so I'm very happy that it's now free. So, not that I don't like to support people, but you know, free is better than
Free is better. Yeah.
free is always better. Onto the PS3, a couple of games here. We've got Dishonored first up, which is a stealth action game. 2012 this one came out. It was very well regarded. First person assassin basically is the overview of this game. I think it was up for like kind of game of the year and stuff that year. It was pretty big. I've played it on the 360 and I had a lot of fun with it as well. And then also on the PS3, maybe not quite so big budget, but nonetheless, Arrow's Awakening, which is a 2D action platformer. I really like the art in this one. It's kind of hand-drawn, looks very cool. It's fast-paced, and basically one of the powers that your player has is that they can teleport, so you obviously have to use that to your advantage.
Yeah, when I watched the trailer for that, it seemed like that was basically all you had to do, in the sense of that was how you moved around the map, pretty much.
So there'll be certain things where you have to teleport to different parts, be able to do things, and puzzle platformer, or a bit of puzzle to it as well, probably. I mean, it's action heavy, but there'll be almost certainly puzzle elements to it.
Yeah.
So either of those, I know it's that stage now where the games coming out for the old consoles seem to be really good because people are obviously moving away from them.
Yeah.
What do you think of these two?
Well, I don't know. I mean, Eris Awakening possibly maybe a bit more than Dishonored. Dishonored maybe a bit more than Eris Awakening. But saying that, I can't see myself
Going
bothering.
back, yeah.
I just can't. I've got enough to play on the PS4 without then going back to the sort of PS3 because I think it would just. I mean, there's two aspects to it. One is the quality just isn't quite there in terms of the look and feel of the game. And also just the controller. I just couldn't go back to the controller.
The beautiful DualShock 4. It is. I know what you mean. It's like this is great for people that haven't yet upgraded because you're now getting some really good games. I mean, what did Xbox have last month? They had BioShock and Tomb Raider.
Yeah.
And this month they've got Army of Two and Black Flag. It's just
Yeah.
two of the
Yeah.
games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, getting Dishonored here for PS3. they're getting some really good games. So for people that aren't as keen on the must-have the newest tech, well, firstly, I don't really understand that logic. That's just stupid. But you know, that's your prerogative, and you're now getting some really good games. So definitely get on these the PlayStation Plus.
Yeah.
Closing out then on the Vita, again another big game.
Yeah.
Killzone Mercenary. The Killzone, it's Killzone. Most people, if they're associated with the PlayStation family, know what Killzone is.
Yep.
It's the Vita game. As far as I can tell, it's basically regarded as the best shooter on the Vita, and it's now free, which is
now that
really
I've got my enormous memory card, which I've loaded up with loads of my Vita library games that I've been building up for months. So I downloaded all of those at the weekend, over the week. Yeah. So I was able to play some of those over the last few days. So I'm spending a lot more time on my Vita now. So I'll definitely be getting Killzone.
I'm very jealous of your. Yeah, you're a big Killzone fan, aren't you? Not obviously you haven't played the Vita version. But
no, and I haven't picked up the one for the PS4 yet. It's one that I've sort of ummed over because I know it wasn't perceived necessarily as well as
I think it was basically
the others, but it's because it's in a different sort of like setting compared to the previous, so it's a different style of game to what the others have been, but they've been really good.
They're good, like they're solid shooters.
It's going to be ideal on the Vita. It's going to be perfect, you know.
Well, the problem is the Vita when you're playing doesn't have that much battery life, so I don't know if there's any way that you could maybe circumvent that problem. Ash, how do you think you're gonna? Because you're going to have 2 or 3 hours. Are you always near a power outlet or?
No, I bought like a backup battery pack.
Very organised.
Yeah, does 7 hours.
We'll see. Whenever they say 7 hours, they don't mean 7 hours. Yeah, up to 7 hours.
Yeah.
But anyway, the last game we've got for the Vita here is Monster Bag. It's a small indie puzzle platformer. You basically have to guide a backpack-shaped monster, which is kind of weird, but kind of through the world. He's looking for his friend. So just a cute little game, but it looks.
I watched the trailer for that and did not understand what the hell was happening.
No, I was the same. I looked at it and thought, I'm not really sure about this. It looks more like a Pixar kind of.
Yeah, I like the artwork on it though. It looked quite cool.
Yeah, can't fault that. It's just I didn't understand what they were trying to say the game was from the trailer.
Yeah, well, it's clearly you just guide a monster through a world who just happens to look a little bit like a bag.
Hence Monster Bag.
I like how they're like. There must have been a massive meeting involved of what they're going to call this game.
Yeah.
So what could we call this game?
We have a monster and he's shaped as a bag.
Do you think they came up with a name first and then designed a character around it, or?
No.
But anyway, those games all free for the month of April. Make sure you download all of them because there's no excuse not to, and you never know when you might want to play as a monster-shaped bag. Or a bag-shaped monster even.
Yeah. A monster-shaped bag.
Well, it's like one of those questions, isn't it? Would you rather fight a bag-shaped monster or a monster-shaped bag? Anyway, let's quickly move out of here.
Yeah.
It's not as fun when it's me fucking up. Assassin's Creed Chronicles Trilogy has been announced this week. We've got 3 different adventures coming up in China, Russia and India, all being aptly named Assassin's Creed Chronicles China. Well, you get the idea.
Yeah.
2.5D kind of perspective of this game. They're all going to have their own very unique art styles. The first one, which is China, is coming out April 21st for the new generation and PC. It's going to be £8 or $10, and China will also be free if you own the Unity Season Pass. So Dan, it makes sense that we ask you about this, seeing as you are the most dedicated AC player. What do you think of these? Is this just kind of milking the Assassin's Creed name a bit too much?
I feel it might be, but I think they're maybe using these as an excuse to not have to do the full games in these places. As in, like, there's always been a lot of talk of, oh, go do it in Japan or go do it in China, like things like that.
Yeah.
And I think they basically gone, we don't really want to do a full game here, but this will do.
Yeah, because it will appeal to people that want to be in those worlds. And,
yeah.
I mean, one thing we can say about Ubisoft is that they've made a couple of really good kind of these. They're obviously not indie because they're a huge studio, but like kind of like what people consider indie games because they're smaller. They're maybe 2D or 2.5D. Like Child of Light was one which we just talked about last week. So I'm excited for them.
Because they look like they could work really well. And they're different.
Yeah, I basically don't consider them Assassin's Creed games. They just have... It's like branding, isn't it? That name means something. So you don't call it something completely different.
No.
Even though it's not really what we know as an Assassin's Creed game. But each to its own, it could still be pretty cool.
Yeah.
And you touched on those locations. I mean, it's not there, but you said Japan.
Yeah.
Do you not think Japan would be an awesome location for AC?
I'm not denying it. I'm just saying,
like kind of old school Japan. Kind of
yeah, but I'm just thinking they're using this as an excuse to, because they've not said the timelines or anything like that.
Yeah.
I think they're using it as an excuse to visit the places they can't if they keep moving the timeline forwards.
Yeah.
Which is what they've been doing in the actual main Assassin's Creed games.
Yeah. Well, these are all obviously emerging. Well, I suppose Russia's a bit more developed, but they're still like kind of emerging market kind of games, and China, Russia, India, and stuff.
Yeah.
So, but no, look out for those starting in April. You're going to pick them up, Ash? Maybe.
Probably not. Considering I've still got a lot of Black Flag to do, and I haven't started Unity. Probably not.
Yeah. One day, we should do a video of when we both finally unwrap Unity. It'll be like a year later.
I know. I've got a lot of cellophaned games at the moment.
I finally unwrapped Dying Light this week.
Ooh.
But then I put it in my console, and then it had like a 2 gig update, so that took the rest of the evening. And I haven't had any free time since, so I've still not played it.
See, I've actually got into the habit of thinking about this and planning ahead now. Thinking about if I need to play a game, let me get it in and just get all the updates installed, get the game installed, and then I'll be ready to rock and roll.
I should do that for Unity, because I think it's like a 6 gig one.
Yeah, Unity is about 6. Yeah.
Well, that's just the latest one, let alone all the others that I'm...
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's like far too much.
It'll be an overnight job. Anyway, moving on then. We had some more news here. Quantum Break has been delayed. There's been rumours circling that this game might be pushed. There was a tweet from a gentleman that I don't have the name in front of me, but he basically said that this game was going to be falling into 2016 before quickly kind of like retracting his statement and saying, I didn't mean it like that. It's just, it could still be 2015. I don't really know. I was just making a guess. Like, well, he clearly wasn't.
Yeah.
But the reason behind it is not quite what we normally come to expect. Normally we get the PR spiel about better time to polish the game and make it a better experience. No, apparently they're not going to do that. Apparently, I like to hope they still will, but apparently it's just because Xbox is just already too awesome this year.
That is basically the language they use.
That's the exact wording they used. Asterisk, this is not the exact wording they used. But basically they've said that we've already got Tomb Raider, Forza, Halo, obviously, and Fable Legends coming out in the fall of 2015.
They basically said there's a big game each month already.
Yeah.
And they just want to carry that forward into 2016.
I can understand that because, I mean, like, I know we just mentioned Dying Light. Look how well Dying Light did in January, coming out in January, because there was nothing else around.
Yeah.
If that had come out in October or November, it would have done half the units.
It would have been swallowed, wouldn't it?
So
everything else.
It does make sense, and I'm really excited for this game. It's from the guys that made the original Max Payne's on the PlayStation that I loved.
And you can kind of see that as well, I think. But even the most recent Max Payne 3, I think it's just got aspects of that still as well. I know it's not from the same guys, but it's just got that sort of feel to it.
The time manipulation powers, isn't it? Kind of being able to go into slow-mo, stopping time and stuff.
Yeah.
And those games are really cool, and I'll tell you what, Ash, these Xbox exclusives are just piling up.
I know.
Looking incredible. I feel for anyone that is not on Xbox at this moment in time.
I do as well.
I pity those people as well.
But at the end of the day, PlayStation's still winning, so I'm not one for those wars. I'm perfectly happy having both consoles. I wouldn't want to have just one console because this isn't a dig at you. It's just a genuine thing. Like, you miss out on experiences.
You do. I mean, Halo just as on its own, I think itself. But then you start adding in, the likes of Forza. I mean, Forza. This is the first year that I've properly played Forza.
It's good.
And I don't, it just makes me realise what I was missing really, because it's got nothing on any of the PlayStation racer games.
No. That's my opinion as well. I'm glad you agree. Anyway, moving on. For maybe people that already are on Xbox and want to move to PlayStation, which you probably should have already done, but we'll let you off for the time being. Because now you can buy an awesome Arkham Knight limited edition console. Well, you can't buy it now. You can pre-order it, and it's tied in with the release of Arkham Knight, which we said last week is June 23rd. Did we say?
Ooh.
I think it's 23rd.
Yeah,
it was 23rd. I could look it up. It's right here. Yeah, it's 23rd. So anyway, so it comes in it looks pretty cool. The faceplate on it looks really cool with like the Arkham Knight logo, and it's a really nice kind of steel grey, similar-ish to the 20th anniversary edition.
But it's not quite the
but
same grey, so it's not
as
leftover grey ones that just slapped a Batman sticker on.
Yeah.
Just
and they've made it a little bit darker.
Yeah.
The 20th anniversary edition I think still look cooler than this. But if you're a big Batman fan, I must admit I've been close to ordering it. Because at first I was like, oh, goddamn Americans getting all the cool stuff. Because $450 in the US. And I was on Amazon today because they told me that the limited edition version of the game was available. So I put in Arkham Knight. And then the console came up for £370. I was like, oh, god damn it. That console is pretty cool. But are you guys going to buy it?
No.
No. Would you buy it if you didn't have a PS4? Or would you just get a normal PS4 still?
That's a hard question to answer. I really...
Like, what do we... Because we're starting to get these consoles
in
now,
the game
aren't we?
as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
So it's like...
We're starting to get these... We've always had them.
Yeah.
You know, we haven't yet had them really for the Xbox One. Okay, we had the white one, but that's not really a game-specific edition.
No, that was...
We did have the Call of Duty one for Xbox One, actually. So
I probably
now we've got
wouldn't.
this. Yeah.
I don't think I would.
No. I like the black because all of my...
Yeah.
And also it's like everything on my unit is all black. TV, Xbox, Skybox, stand itself, yeah.
So basically what you're saying is if you bought a Batman steel grey TV...
Ooh. I wonder if they exist. Not obviously a Batman one, that would be stupid. But maybe a grey TV.
Then you would have bought the console.
Well, let's get out of here before you convince me to actually buy the console.
And the TV.
And a TV. Talking of TV, I bought a PlayStation TV this week. It's on offer right now, by the way. Not sponsored by Sony, but it's been half price now. It's like now 30 quid, so maybe worth checking out. Anyway, let's head into the game releases for this week. A lot of games. It's up to you whether or not they're the games for you, but we'll go through them fairly quickly. We don't want to spend hours and hours talking about all of them, but we'll start with probably the biggest release in terms of budget and scale is MLB 15 The Show for PS4, PS3 and Vita. It's Major League Baseball sim, basically. The one of a few sports that's actually tied to a specific console, because obviously it's made by Sony Santa Monica? No, that's not right. San Diego. Sony San Diego. Are you guys a fan of baseball at all?
No.
It's America's pastime, apparently.
Yeah, it's
just rounders.
Yeah,
it's
just rounders.
It's rounders with the bigger bat.
But no, I don't know. It's just
I'm not a big sports fan kind of game. I mean, there are a few games I will buy, but NFL and MLB are not them.
And NHL. Basically, you buy FIFA. Is that what you're saying?
I'd buy the odd FIFA, the odd basketball.
Yeah, you're not really into. Yeah, basketball's probably the only sport that you really
have
any sort of passion for.
And obviously the golf games as well. So
we're talking about sports, Ash. So let's just stay focused.
Yeah, but I don't know. You know that fishing game. You know, it looked good the other week.
Real bass. I haven't bought it yet. It's in my pile to get. So Dan, there was one feature in this game that I would like to talk to you about because obviously me and you play sports games a lot more than Ash. If you bought MLB 14 last year, then basically you can carry over your franchise and Road to the Show career mode progress into the new game, which I think is really cool.
Yes.
Because there's so many years where you put so much investment into your career and then you have to start again.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, I can understand it in some games being a lot more difficult because of just the new players and everyone's kind of stats, but I just think this is a really cool feature. It's just a career mode, like, you know, your players will automatically, I assume, revert to the new default kind of stats of this year. You're not going to carry over their progress, but at least it's your career and your roster and everything.
Yeah, so like it is the annoying thing of playing like sports games every year and then going, oh, I've spent this long building up this franchise. Oh well.
Yeah.
Move on. Kind of thing. It's what you're basically forced to do every single time. It's like it's nice to have that option.
Yeah.
Even if you start up a new one, that's fine. But to be able to just carry everything over and continue it.
It's really cool. I like to see some other sports games do this, especially kind of like your likes, like your maybe like your NHLs, your NFLs, where you really build a franchise. You draft a load of young players onto your team. You start really shaping your team to be yours, and then you can just carry it on.
I do understand though what you're saying with it can be a bit difficult possibly when you've got a lot of movement within that sport, like players coming and going. It's just like suddenly, well, these players aren't even in the league anymore, whereas you've got all of these new players just come out of like for the NFL, college and so on into the draft, and you got all these undrafted free agents, everything like that. There's a lot of movements every single year.
It's probably quite a hard logistic thing to work out.
I think that would be quite hard for them to track, but if it existed in Madden, that would be awesome.
Yeah. Anyway, so basically what we're saying is EA, pull your finger out, work out how to do it.
Mm-hmm.
I know you're watching, because let's be honest,
who would?
Everyone is watching. We'll move on then to from the MLB The Show to Super Mega Baseball. This is a different game, but it looks a little more lighthearted in terms of your characters look a bit goofy. I thought they looked very much like Mii characters from the Wii.
Yeah, they are. They look a lot like Wii Mii characters.
Wii. But despite the kind of obviously cartoon art style and everything, it is actually still a simulation game at heart.
Yeah.
Which is really weird because when you see like kind of like a cartoony game, you think arcade.
Yes, you do.
But there's still some simulation there. I would assume your opinions on baseball doesn't change from MLB to Super Mega.
No,
I had some time to think over it, and now I've decided actually, baseball.
Which one would you rather go for though? Would you go for the one with a big career or the kind of more light-hearted looking one? Like as like a casual fan, if you were a casual fan.
I suppose the casual style of game, Super Mega Baseball.
I think so.
It's interesting. We'll move on anyway because we've already talked baseball. Next up is Axiom Verge for the PS4. This is a game a lot of people I know have been very excited for. It's indie side-scrolling action adventure. It takes a lot of inspiration from the Metroid games of past. And the most impressive thing about this game is everything from the coding and the development to the music score to the art style. It's all been done by one guy named Tom Happ.
That's
so
pretty incredible.
Well done to you for all the hard work you did, and then giving Sony 40% to sell it on their PlayStation Store. But no, I think when you see a game that looks this good and is getting decent reviews, it's like, wow, that guy is super talented to be able to do everything.
Yeah.
It's like I kind of like these people. I kind of respect, but also they annoy me because I don't like. Because why can't I be that?
Basically, damn you with your talent, kind of.
Yeah. Is this a game though that either of you guys are interested? I know you're not kind of always big on these types of games, but
not massively. From the sort of games this week, there is, very little in terms of games.
Spoil it. Don't make them turn off. There's a lot to come.
that really, really appeal to me. But this is probably sort of midway, I would say.
Yeah, I'm very much the same on it. It's borderline.
Well, I will play it and report back to you because obviously you listen to me so much when I play Resogun.
Yeah.
Well, actually, you got it eventually, didn't you?
What?
Resogun.
I bought it at the same time you did.
Oh, never mind then. Moving on, we've got Woe Dave, which for all of you with a good memory will remember that we talked about this back in January as part of our PlayStation Plus lineup on the Vita. You remember that, of course?
Of course.
The PS4 version is now available, obviously still on Vita, and if you got it for free when it was on Vita, you'll also get the PS4 version for free.
That's good.
Which is cool. Basically, you just collect coins while trying to avoid aliens. It's not really...
You throw stuff at them.
Yeah.
It's just all I can add.
A fun little kind of like...
I like that sort of game though sometimes. You just need that every now and again to pick up and just have 20 minutes on, just give it a bash. And...
I think don't know. I
It's
mean,
a Vita game in my
yeah, it is definitely.
It is a
It
Vita
would
game,
feel more home in the Vita, but obviously some people like playing their games on big TV, and also a lot of people don't have Vitas.
Yeah.
The install base is terrible on the Vita, so that's good. You can obviously add it to your big memory card, Ash.
I can.
No excuse not to.
Definitely.
Paranormal Pursuit for the PS3. This game, it sounds interesting. I couldn't really find any trailer, which is very worrying.
I didn't find a trailer. I saw some gameplay.
There's a lot of gameplay stuff like walkthroughs, but
and I didn't like it.
No.
No.
I like the sound of it though. It's like every second counts in this breathtaking paranormal adventure. Lives are on the line as you race to keep a young boy with psychic abilities from falling into the hands of an evil politician. I nearly read that as pelican. Anyway, to evade the henchman sent to kill you. Yeah, an evil. Pelicans are evil though, let's be honest. They're fucking big beaks and beady eyes. So that description actually sounds like it could be quite a cool game. Like you've got the psychic, the mind control.
I quite like. I mean, there aren't enough games where you have sort of everyday people that have these sort of abilities. I don't think there aren't. I mean, like we had it with Infamous. You know, where you've sort of got that. He needs to.
They look like humans, but they are superpowers rather than like
It's quite subtle.
Batman.
You see, it's quite subtle. Yeah, it's not so in your face. And that's what sort of strikes me with this. But I don't know. It seems it's quite a slow game, isn't it? And there's a lot of puzzle aspects.
From what I
there's
saw,
a lot of puzzles.
it's more sort of like you have cutscene, and then you go into like a sort of point and click interface, and then
Yeah.
cutscene, and it's
That's
like
right. Yeah,
But it's also like the voice sort of acting, the way it all blended together. It seemed to like go line,
new line. It wouldn't flow.
It's not
counter line
quite
from other character.
It's not quite for me. Maybe if it was PS4.
Yeah, let's be honest. It's PS3. None of us are going to play
It's
it.
PS3, and it's even less reason for me to play it. But I won't say it's totally dead in the water because it's along the right lines. It just needs a bit more.
I know what you mean. But I know what you mean.
I like that style of game. If there were just the odd one
it
or
needs
two
to be
things,
tighter, basically.
It does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's move on to the Xbox games that we've got then. So we've got Neverwinter for the Xbox One. This is a Dungeons and Dragons MMORPG experience.
MMO.
Those are three words that
Massive
do not.
multiplayer online.
That is three words that do not really excite me. Well, technically four. So it's Dungeons and Dragons. I'm not a big fan of. MMO. Well, online games. You know what we think.
Yeah.
RPGs. So this game, I'm excited for people because we don't have enough MMOs, RPGs on consoles. So from that point of view, I'm excited that we're getting these games on consoles.
Yeah.
I will never personally touch this game because I just know it's not for me.
To me, I looked at it and thought it was actually a World of Warcraft thing, pretty much.
Dungeons and Dragons, sort of the same
Yeah,
thing.
no, but that's just it. As in, like, I looked at it and went, just the same thing.
But no, I'm interested to see this game more. I'm interested to see kind of how the MMO kind of grows on consoles because we've got Smite coming for Xbox as well. I don't know if you've heard of that.
Yes.
So they're starting to come now. Obviously, now we have like the platform for these consoles. So we'll just have to see how they go. I'll just go a couple more here really quickly. Stealth Inc. 2 for the Xbox One. Don't know if you guys played the first one, but don't even know if there was a first one. But it's a puzzle platformer where you play the role of like a clone escaping a facility. It's basically, puzzle platformer. It looks cool. I like the artwork in it. We have a lot of these games. It's just trying to find out, we don't have unlimited time. So it's trying to find out the ones that are the good ones to play. I don't know enough about this one yet to know if it's one that will be on my list or not.
It's sort of Minions versus Lemmings, isn't it?
Kind of. That's a good way to explain it. A couple more. We've got Dark Souls 2 for Xbox One PS4. It's obviously previously a last gen game, but this is now the definitive edition. Well, we had to have one. We have one like every week, don't we? Definitive edition. So that's this week's. It's a spiritual predecessor to Bloodborne, that kind of game that we've talked about. Pretty hard, but
So when Bloodborne's finished, dragging
another
you down.
one to be unwrapped, which is on my shelf. I will actually play that this weekend.
Yeah, you have to let me know
I'm playing
what you think of it.
at the moment, so
You have to let me know. I'm intrigued of Bloodborne. There's already a video on the internet of some bloke completing the game on like a speed run in half an hour. And you hear all these people taking like 50, 60 hours, and it's like he did it in 30 minutes. What a nerd.
Wow. That was me, by the way.
That was you, was it? You completed it without even unwrapping it, that's how good you are. Knowing you probably buy the digital as well as the physical, so it could be possible. Geometry Wars 3 for Xbox One. We've talked about this in the past when it was on PS4, so I won't get into huge details, but it's a twin stick shooter, kind of a spherical world of a ship. You have to shoot other ships. If you played kind of games like Super Stardust Ultra or Resogun, this kind of game will feel at home. There's been a lot of Geometry War games in the past as well. I think this is like, even though it's called Geometry Wars 3, well actually Geometry Wars Cubed, it's actually like the 7th in the series, I think. So there's one of those for you. And then last but not least, well maybe least, we have Pool Nation FX. We spoke about it last week. The free game on Xbox One right now, Games with Gold. Pool game. Billiards game.
Billiards game, yeah.
So it's free for Xbox One owners. Make sure you download it, and if you enjoy it, good for you. So that's the list, guys. Quite a lot of games. Maybe not all ones that would appeal to you, but if there was the one that appealed to you the most, what would be your choice?
This is possibly the hardest week I can ever remember in all of our.
Well, you can say none. If you don't want to play any of them, you can say none. I'm not going to force you to pick one.
I can't pick one.
I feel like cheating because I'm pretty sure when we talked about Geometry Wars when it came out for PS4, I picked it there. But I'm picking it again.
Yeah, that's what I'm picking. It's good. I'm not going to buy it on Xbox because I already have it on PS4, but it's a good fun game. It's actually really hard. This is one game where I was just like, I played it for half an hour. I was like, nope, I'm not getting that platinum. It's hard. Like, I was hoping, because this was like right after like I played like the latest DLC of Resogun.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, well, I'm in the zone for these type of games, but Geometry was hard, really hard. But that would be the one that appeals to me the most, I think. Axiom Verge is close, but I know where I'm intrigued to play it, and I will play it. But I know where I am with Geometry Wars. That's the safe bet.
Yeah. Like I say, I think Paranormal Pursuit, in terms of the type of game it is, probably would have been definitely my sort of game, but it just isn't enough, and it's on PS3, so I won't be picking
the idea of it is the most intrigued.
But nothing for me this week. I've got more than enough to.
What is your game this week? What are you going to be playing?
Battlefield,
and then Bloodborne.
Yeah. And then Bloodborne, yeah.
You got the week off, so you got no excuse not to complete.
I have a week off, so that, and then I don't know, maybe a bit of AC, and then unwrap Wolfenstein. I don't know. I have got loads to do.
I'm sorry for your loss, Becky. If you're watching this, missing one husband, last scene.
Yeah.
Playing consoles on his couch. But there we go. That's it. If you have enjoyed this video, please do subscribe to our channel, like the video, share us with your friends, and all of that marketing spiel. Let us know in the comments down below if you're excited for any of these games, or any of the news stories we talked about. What do you think of the AC Chronicles? Are you excited for Quantum Break? Are you going to buy the grey console or not? You have to be quick. To be honest, they'll probably be sold out by the time the video goes up. But
it might be sold out now.
Yeah, it might be sold out now, yeah. But there we go. Ash, Dan, thank you for your time as always.
Thank you, boys.
And everyone out there, we will see you next Monday.